I've spent the last, 20 years building a career that I thought I wanted. And now I am seriously considering, no, I have made the decision that it's time to walk away. And not because I've failed, but because over the last at least decade, I felt like I've lost myself. I have become my career. And to be honest, that is not who I am. For, I guess, around half of my adult life, I've worked in a museum, doing work that I believed was meaningful. I was a researcher. I am a researcher. And it's a skill that I have developed with a lot of care and support from people I look up to, not just in the museum, in the institution that I work in, but actually all around the world. I have worked in repatriation, which involves the return of ancestral remains from museums, universities and medical institutions, as well as private collections around the world. And that work I have loved, and it was meaningful. It is still very meaningful. I've in more recent years moved into curatorial practice to become a curator. And it's also work that I enjoy. There's still a lot of research. And in that time, I guess I've developed my passion, which is provenance research. Uncovering the history of objects or taonga, which connects also to ancestral remains. And I guess that's where I really developed that, the skill of provenance research. You know, for me, I felt like I was a detective uncovering mysteries from the past, and it is meaningful. But I don't know. Something's shifted in me, and I'm not sure if it's because I've turned 50 or if it's because the environment that I am in has changed, and to put it bluntly, not for the better. Researching and helping to reconnect communities with their cultural material, their taonga and their tupuna, their ancestors, it's meaningful work and it's important work. And for a long time, I felt really proud of the work that I did, and actually I still do. But over time, something shifted. And to be honest, it's quite hard to pinpoint when that shift started. Well, okay, I'll be honest. I have an idea about when this shift started, and it was probably about 7, 8, 9 years ago. And it's something that's kind of hard to explain. But what once felt like to me like purpose has over time began to feel like pressure, a lot of pressure, expectations, the weight of responsibility, and the systems that I work within. It doesn't gel well. It's, if I can say, it's broken. And I think it's gotten to the point where I still show up, I still go to work, but I'm not really there anymore. And that's really hard for me to admit. Also, right now, things in my personal life are changing. My youngest child and only grandson are moving to Australia. Jeez. And even just talking about it, I find hard. Yeah. So I'm going to be an empty nester in just over a month's time. And I'll worry about that too. I don't worry about me so much, but I'm going to miss them. I've gone quite close to my grandchild and I'm going to miss him. So yeah. Things are changing. I'm also going through perimenopause, which I'm going to say is why I was so emotional. And so I'm navigating that space as well, which is not easy. But all of this kind of has made me really look at my life properly and ask, what do I want? You know, life is short. You know, and as the saying goes, we're here for a good time, not a long time. And I want to make the most of it. And I want to do things that actually matter to me. I think with my career, I have focused on doing meaningful work for others. And that's not a bad thing, like, don't get me wrong. But I need to do things that are meaningful for me. So I've started probably the beginning of this year, really. I really started to ask myself some questions that I hadn't asked before. Is this the life that I want long term? I know that this is the life I've built and I've worked really hard to build this life. But I'm not sure that it really serves me anymore. And I think this has really surprised me because I'm like a go-getter, and if I want to put my mind to something, I make it happen. And I don't know, I don't freaking understand how it's gotten to this stage where I'm so unhappy with where I am. Yeah. And I guess that's where I've lost myself. I've lost my personal identity. So this channel is me figuring all that out. You know, I've got a plan. I've got some ideas. And I hope this will be of interest to some of you. I guess it's a way of recording this journey for me. So I can see where I started and then where I get to in the end. I guess right now I'm right in the middle of it. Like, I haven't already reached my goals. I'm actually in the early stages of that journey. And I don't know, I'm really keen to hear from women who have gone through this, or actually who are going through this, because it can be quite lonely at times, which doesn't help because I'm not the most social person in the world, and I get quite drained with a lot of people and a lot of stimulation. So having alone time is really important for me. So yeah, so I don't know how I'm going to freaking navigate that, but I think this is probably a good way to do that. For those who know me, I'm doing something that is totally out of my comfort zone and not what you'd expect from me. And I'll be sharing the journey of what change for me actually looks like. The good parts, which I know there will be, and also the uncomfortable parts, which I definitely know there will be. And I think the hardest part for me, and even though I know I'm ready and I need to do it, but the hardest part is going to be stepping away from something that's been a huge part of my identity for coming up 18 years. And that's the scary part. But I know I need to do it. I have to do it. I feel like now, I don't know, I feel like my 50s, I feel like I'm in my prime. Like, if I'm going to make a change, it's going to be now. I've lived life. I've had a very eventful life. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. And yeah, I want to do something for me. I want to be my own boss. I want to dictate what research or projects to do. I want to be able to work wherever in the world I can. I want to be able to go to Australia and stay there for 3 months with my family and work from there. And yeah, so that's my plan. Sadly, I have to be, and this is the hardest part for me, I have to be patient. I have no patience. I want everything to happen like instantly. But this is going to take some planning and some organisation. And, you know, I've got to build my new start, my new company, which I'm a little bit terrified about, but I think it's going to be fun. So I'll be scouring YouTube for similar women that are going through this same journey, just to see how they navigate this. And yeah, I hope you do the same. And also, you know, if you are going through a similar journey, or even just, I don't know, questioning where you're at right now, you know, you're not the only one. Hello. And I guess it's made me realize that, you know, I'm not alone in this. So yeah, this is me starting. So we'll see how we go.